Ariel Osran, Middle East correspondent. Thank you for your time. I want to ask you, how do you look at this development? And how do you see this development now influencing or having an impact on the war? An escalation is what really is being anticipated.
Right. So I think the fact that even leading up to our conversation now, you connected also the elimination of Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran and also the assassination of Fouad Shukr in Beirut. I think the two are rightfully connected, and they show that this is a significant blow, not only to the respective organizations, Hamas and Hezbollah, but a blow to the Iranian-led axis, given that both Hamas and Hezbollah are seen as Iranian proxies. Now, specifically on the elimination of Haniyeh, I think, first of all, he is the highest-ranking Hamas official to have been eliminated since the war, and Israel has vowed that it will hunt down Hamas leaders. And today, the world got a reminder that Israel intends to make good on those promises. As for what this will impact, how this will impact moving forward, it may sound surprising, but I don't really think this will have any significant effect moving forward. The fighting in Gaza is winding down, and Israel is attempting, along with the mediators, the United States, Qatar, and Egypt, to reach a ceasefire deal. I don't think this will change the prospect of that, given that the disagreements are on specific details rather than large principles. And so just like the elimination in April of 3 of Ismail Haniyeh's sons, and Haniyeh back then said that that won't affect the negotiations or the war, I don't think his demise, his elimination by Israeli Air Force, which again reportedly took place, a guided missile launched from a country outside Iran, targeting, this according to Iran, the safe house where Haniyeh was staying, safe house belonging to Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps, north of Tehran. So a significant security breach. Also, the Secretary General of Palestinian Islamic Jihad, Ziad al-Nakhala, a partner of Hamas, was in that same building, but on a different floor. My understanding is that he survived, or he wasn't even hurt in the strike. But if we look at all this, I still don't think that this will have any significant impact on the war or on attempts to reach a ceasefire.
Yes,
release deal.
Right. We also, in fact, spoke with a former spokesperson of the IDF a while ago, and he did say that, yes, it's a good day. It's a great day for Israel. But the fact is that trust the Hamas to regroup instantaneously, almost. And is it that they will be, in fact, very soon finding a leader once again? That won't be very difficult. And that way, it isn't a huge setback, so to speak, to Hamas. It's a temporary setback. They will regroup. They'll come back.
Look, Israel's been at war for over 10 months, and no day in this period is a good day, even if it is the day that Israel finds justice or makes justice with the perpetrators of the biggest massacre in the history of the country. But indeed, this Hamas has more political figures that it can put in the forefront. This won't shake the organization in a way that it can't move forward. But if we're talking about Hamas attempts to regroup, that is already happening on the field. Areas that Israeli forces withdraw from, Hamas forces come back, reassert their civil rule and their military rule. That's why we're seeing in Gaza areas that the IDF is operating not once, not twice, and more than 3 times, because Hamas keeps on trying to emerge. The elimination of Ismail Haniyeh as the leader, the political leader of the group, won't change that in any way. That the day-to-day of Gaza is being managed by one person, that's Yahya Sinwar, Ismail Haniyeh's predecessor. He is the current Hamas leader in the Gaza Strip. That Haniyeh's elimination won't change the decision-making of Sinwar, who is still seen as the more hawkish of Hamas leaders, and the person who at the end of the day has the final say regarding reaching a hostage release and ceasefire deal.
Yes, absolutely. No, but it's a setback by way of Hamas losing a conduit really for international financing. Importantly, a major link really with sponsor Iran, isn't it, in that sense?
Oh, indeed. Ismail Haniyeh, since moving to Qatar in 2019, has been enjoying a lavish lifestyle, living in five-star hotels. And he has indeed maintained the connection or been the face of Hamas in all regards to its political connections with other countries. But just like you said, Haniyeh is gone. Someone else will come. Haniyeh is not the first leader of Hamas to be eliminated by Israel. I'll remind you, Sheikh Ahmed Yassin, Abdulaziz Rantisi, also founders of Hamas. They were eliminated and new people came in their stead, making Hamas not less, even perhaps more of a genocidal terror organization. So that won't shift the main line of the terror group, but indeed it is an immediate setback and a significant blow, as it is still in war with Israel following the October 7th attack.
All right, I'm going to thank you for joining in with your views and your perspective on that big story that we are tracking very, very closely. Thank you for joining us. So why is, in fact, the killing, the assassination of Haniyeh extremely crucial? What does it do to the Hamas? Remember, Hamas loses its de facto chief, essentially, with this particular assassination. Hamas also loses the main link with the sponsor, Iran, in this case. He was the man, he was the conduit for international financing and the link between Iran and Hamas, the sponsor. It obviously is going to further trigger chaos in the remnants of Hamas here. Huge pressure on battered Hamas to select a new chief, but like I said, it has now been said or spoken about the fact that Hamas essentially is going to be looking at this as a temporary setback, expected to regroup, and of course, as far as the war is concerned, expecting further escalation. The assassination is an important development from the point of view of a temporary setback to Hamas today. It loses its de facto chief, the political leader, albeit the main link with sponsor Iran. I'm going to go across straight to Ashraf for more details on that. Ashraf, right now the information that we have with us is about the mystery strike. And talk to us a little about that. As per a section of the Saudi media that has been reporting in at 2 o'clock in the morning, Tehran time, is when the building that he was living in, the house that he was living in, was struck, bringing him out and a bodyguard with him.
Absolutely, but if we go through the statement, what was made by the Revolutionary Guards who are commanding the security of Tehran and the Iran, they have clearly said that Ismail Haniyeh with his bodyguard was killed in the rocket attack, not in a missile attack. That means this was an attack carried out by allegedly by the Mossad people in the guest house where Ismail Haniyeh with his bodyguards was sitting after taking part in the oath ceremony of the Iranian president. So that is so far the statement. But what is the misery about that? The security agencies of Iran are looking into it. That is why they have not released any image or any kind of a brief statement about the involvement of Israel in the killing of Ismail Haniyeh. But it is clear what the Hamas has said, that he was on the target of the Israel as well as on the target of the Mossad. And it is not the first time when these kind of high profile targets had been assassinated by the Israel in the different parts of the Middle East, whether in the Syria or in Lebanon or in Iran itself, including the nuclear scientists. And